በርጤሜዎስ ነኝ ዓይነ ስውር ምስኪን ከሩቅ የሰማሁት የጌታዬ ድምፁ ከብዙ ካታጉር ርብርብታ መሃል የክርስቶስ ድምፁ በግልጽ ይሰማኛል። የክርስቶስ ድምፁ በግልጽ ይሰማኛል።
Of the promised child. As I described in the previous section, God took Abraham out into the field and promised him to bless his seed as the star of the sky. Abraham also was waiting it in a phase. Similarly, after we asked God something, we have to wait him impatient. God will give us what we asked him by his time. We have to wait him. He has time to give us. He has time to bless us. He has time to answer our questions. He never leave us alone. One day he will respond for us. Sometimes we want him to give us today or just tomorrow. But God has reason that why he don't want to give us today or tomorrow. Abraham also waited God for 15 years. See, he never waited him for one day. He never waited him just for 1 week or 1 month. Just he waited him for 15 years. You see how he patient? Remember, Abraham never waited God only by questioning, but also, rather, he was doing good. He was serving peoples. He was feeding for starved peoples. You see, when we ask God for something, we have to evaluate ourselves whether we are on God's line or on our way. But Abraham was on God's line. So God prepared the seed of blessing that the human being would be blessed with. After Abraham and Sarah grew old, Isaac, the son of the promise, was given to them. And Isaac was born. The obedient Isaac. One day, God tested Abraham. God said, Abraham, Abraham, take your beloved son Isaac and go to the land of Moriah and sacrifice him on a mountain that I will tell you about. You see, it's a difficult question, particularly when we think it about as like a human view. It's a very difficult question. Is there a righteous person nowadays who can sacrifice his child to God? Who can sacrifice their son and daughters to God? No one. No one do that. Maybe there are savage peoples who sacrifice their families for beasts, for devil. They sacrifice because the devil make them blind. He makes their heart's eye blind. So they don't know what they are doing. As St. Paul said on his book, such people are given over the idle mind, whose minds are blind. But Abraham, who knows what he was worshipping, obeyed for God. Abraham wakes up early in the morning and he mounted his donkey. He also took his 2 servants and his son Isaac with him. He also split the wood for sacrifice. Then he went to the place where God ordered him. On the 3rd day, Abraham lifted his eyes and saw the place from distance. Then Abraham turned his face to his servants and said that, you stay here with the donkey. My son and I go there and worship for God. He told them, for his servants. Then he gave the wood of the sacrifice for his son. And he took the fire and the knife and went to the mountain together. While Abraham and Isaac going to the mountain, Isaac asked an amazing question to his father in a polite way. He said, Dad, my father, here is the fire, here is the wood, but where is the sacrificial sheep? It's the heart-touching question, you see? It's the heart-touching question Isaac asked his father. And Abraham replied, My son, God will prepare the sacrificial lamb. He will prepare the sacrificial sheep. Let's keep go, he said to him. Abraham began to do God's command. So he bound his son Isaac and raised his knife to sacrifice his son. Isaac also obeyed to his father. He did not refuse to be slaughtered by the hands of his father. He understood that his father did not hate him. He understood that the reason why his father is going to slaughter is not because he dislikes him. It's not because he hates him. He knows his father loves him, but that's because his father, Abraham, is doing God's command. Because God is greater than a child. He is greater than a family. God is greater than our mother or our father or our children. You see? That's why even the child's Isaac also understood this. So he never blamed. He never refused. He obeyed for his father and for God too. Rather, Isaac encouraged his father to offer the sacrifice. He was encouraged his father to not fight with God by saying, My father, if you see me in my eyes, you will be sad and leave me, and you will fight with God. So turn me on my back, so that you will not fight with God, he said. You see how he is matured enough in his spirit, matured enough in his faith. The blessed child, the blessed son. You see how this the father and the son, Abraham and Isaac, believe in God. You see how extent is their trust in God. Then, seeing that Abraham and Isaac obeyed the faith, God sent his angel from heaven. He ordered Abraham not to slaughter his son Isaac. Then Abraham saw a sheep in the forest with its horn tied with a rope to be sacrificed instead of his son Isaac. The angel told Abraham to leave his son Isaac and sacrifice the sheep. You see? And Abraham sacrificed a sheep. Finally, Abraham called that place Yahweh Yireh, which means God sees. Yes. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, whoever we are, God sees.